Hey y'all, this review for Lovecraft is getting out late. I really did want to discuss it last night after I watched it, but it was well after midnight. I wanted to sit and think about some things. I primarily want to reach those individuals who have never read the book, including myself, know nothing of what to expect. And I want to hear from y'all. What do you think how this anthology or series will unfold? What does it look like for you? Is it more love story, more superhero fighting action, more, you know, racial harmony, or at least racial black excellence as we fight segregation through the Jim Crow areas of America? I'm very, very grateful that so far this has not even went south. This has literally went from Chicago to Massachusetts and is already showing not only were there sundown towns, but sundown counties. Now that's news to me. And I think I like to try and stay involved on anything that deals with Black history. I am, excuse me, a very big purveyor of, I would love to have seen how segregation was survived and thriving for our people, my people specifically, because I'm in a deep South Southern town where we lived, never left, but lived through segregation, Jim Crow, lived through multiple generations of enslavement into what does immediate freedom from enslavement looks like, the Reconstruction period, as well as when my people left, they started heading west to California, Los Angeles to be exact. But some ultimately migrated and went to the Midwest after an older cousin served in the military and was stationed around the area. Because back in the 80s, it was the Cold War. By the time we were in middle school, it was all about the hot areas and the desert areas. But for Lovecraft, you need to know Miss Letitia motherfucking Lewis. Yes, YouTube, I just cursed. She said it herself because she kept just getting called girl. And oh my word, it was like the multifaceted levels. And I know, like, oh, how did they deal with it then? We're still dealing with it now in 2020. And I'm very proud to say she pushed back. I'm very perplexed and confused, not just from dealing with segregation, but we open with Atticus. He's nicknamed Tick for short, and Tick has to arrive via bus in the back. I guess what is the Trailway back then? I only know Trailway because my folks still say that word now. I mean, the Greyhound, what you want to talk about? But I have to go along because it's Trailway. And he's in the back of the bus explaining to another black patron he's coming home to find his father. He left home, joined the military because he was escaping his father. So he's heading to Chicago. But they just stop in the plain like cornfields. It was really high, tall, green grass. So I was like, is it really corn? Because that's what I know Illinois is to have. No one talks about it. And he's sitting on his bag, his rucksack from back in the day, of how watching everyone load up, the Caucasians load up on the back of a flatbed truck to keep going on to the next leg in the journey. I have no idea. I said I would rewatch this so I could have a better understanding, but it was perplexing to me. And of course, the gentleman he notices, hey, black woman, she's gonna need help. Yo, the bus driver didn't even help the black lady with her bags. I guess they was like, you Negroes go over there and figure it out yourselves. We only cater to the Caucasians. Y'all, I'm telling you, early on, it didn't bother me as much, but by like halfway in, I was just like, yep, I'm officially old. And how do I know I'm old? I have some uncles, including my mother. My mother would never watch like Mississippi Burning. She made it real clear. That kind of stuff gets to me. And I was like, it's just a movie. Just watch and learn, move on. And, now I see the privilege of being an ignorant child where you didn't have to live that. So it's just a process of taking in information. But now, practicing, studying, being exposed, and now what we're trying to see people try in this day and age, it's rough to be like, let me sit here and watch you denigrate my people and talk to folks sideways, like my money don't spend the same. And it's rough for me as a vocal person not to want to have something to say, because I'm pretty adamant about, I don't jump for every little thing, but you won't just disregard people in my presence, including me. But most times I'm too slow to catch most things. So back to Lovecraft. Things I would like to question. What do y'all see happening and unfolding between Tick and Leticia? How do you see Courtney Vance and his wife? Because we saw a few previews. his wife will be involved. Do you see them covering like future time periods like sci-fi? This will be very, very new for me. Look, I'm all for aliens and creatures and fighting. I love supernatural in an unhealthy way. But I also don't like other things because it makes my skin crawl. And one of the creatures they fought had eyes all over his body. Just thinking about it was hard and difficult, and it makes my skin crawl. But conversely, I appreciate in the Jim Crow time period, we get to see the response away from the Deep South, as is always brainwashed and, indoctrinated into everyone. Oh, the South is so horrible. Oh, the South is just too far. Look, it's all of America. It's all horrible. If I could get you to understand one thing, all of America is problematic. All of America has racial issues. All of America can be oppressive. All of America was oppressive. There was no savior in any of this. All 50 states, territories, and holding entities. That's just it. And the places we didn't even have in ownership at that time, we ultimately took over, they could tell you. Go and talk to those folks from the different islands, Panama Canal, Puerto Rico. Look, you got Guam. Individuals will fight you to keep you out of their process for what it is they're trying to do. So, with that, Tick arrives into town. He's talking to a few people. We see him, excuse me, I'm disconnecting from, so hopefully there's no background noise. If it is, sorry y'all, bear with me. I'm on a growing channel and help us all. I'm not in my own home or my own space, given there's a funeral, another impending funeral. So we have a lot of pop-up visitors all the time, and people don't respect work from home. I'll tell you that now. But Tick has a loving family who we get to learn is Courtney Vance is his uncle, and the wife of Courtney Vance is, hey, I don't want to mispronounce her name, but y'all know she just wrapped up Lifetime's movie. But she's also done so many other good things. At the end of the day, husband and wife in bed trying to pass through the day. And apparently walls are real thin. And I was like, are they in like a one room house and that's what it is? Or what's going on if everybody gonna hear their business? I'm thinking Chicago, they're gonna have levels. Well, what we do know is they don't have like a rooming home. And that's a good thing. But the daughter is overhearing them having relations and want no parts of it. So let me get her name and I can make sure I can tell you now. Anjanae Ellis plays Hippolyta. Yeah, it was stressful even. I'm glad he said her name like 3 times within the first scene so I could at least remember it. And I saw it was like, whoa, where does that rooted from? Greek or, historical